perhaps the sliding area is a natural area. I can tell you, kids are already sliding into this ravine already. There are natural sliding areas all along the ravine, okay? So we don't need a fake one unless you need it to bury the earth, that's, because there's certain chemicals in the earth. So, you know, if we had what I've heard from the community, and that's why I want to hear what other people have to say, is tennis court is one of the things that people in the community want, as opposed to a sliding area, because we have lots of natural areas for sliding.
Yeah, and just to speak to that from the city's perspective, sliding into ravines is generally frowned upon, and at some point a sign goes up saying, don't do this, etc.
It's been happening for 13, 14 years.
I grew up sliding into the Graham Creek ravine, so I know exactly what you're talking about, but I've also seen some lawsuits come through lately, and we must respond. Our risk management tells us we have to do certain things, and we do try to offer let's just say a designed or designated sledding experience versus the natural ones, which I think we've all done growing up. It's just how things progress.
Times have changed.
Times are changing. It's what we have to deal with.
What's interesting with that is that you can also use, like with the hill, you can also use it as like an amphitheater to watch the game.
Yeah.
Sit on the hill and
Yeah.
watch the game.
Yeah, it actually gives you an overhead view.
Could be,
So there is an existing sliding park in Glandreau Park, and
Apollo Crater.
Apollo Crater.
Oh, craters.
And,
It's
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, and there's another one which is a natural right along the pathway near the karst. Kids use that one as a natural sliding area as well.
No, and remember,
Small.
I might be presenting something that's there because we're being opportunistic to save money to not ship fill away.
So I'm not saying, I'm just saying, like, I understand that it might be an option that might be required. We'll wait and see what the results are. I'm not saying it's mandatory, just saying something to consider.
Oh, yeah.
As well,
Absolutely.
another thing is, it is nice to have some topography there as well for the summertime. It's not just a winter feature. A lot of kids really like to just run up the
It's a great
hill, roll
exercise.
down, and you know, just
Put it near a fitness
do
spot, catch
training
more
or
trails.
whatever.
Look at Looney's Bay. Holy
So
smokes.
if you measure the distance here, if you measure the distance from top of bank here down to the creek, it's about 150 yards. The snowmobile, the old snowmobile trail is right here. Kids slide down here in the wintertime already, and they don't reach the creek. So it's quite a distance down there. There's already a natural sliding area
That's
right
pretty
here.
amazing, Sean.
Yeah.
That says 50 meters on the
Well,
scale, which is approximately 150 yards. That's
So maybe
damn
that's,
close.
like, there already is a natural sliding hill that they're using.
No, but see, here, we would actually possibly send them that way for a longer run out. That deals with our liability issues, et cetera. Like, that's, the corporation has to speak at some point, and that's one of them.
Because at the sports pitch, you can run down onto the sports pitch, take the post down to that.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
And utilize it more.
I have the best sledding hill in my mind in the city is actually Carlington Park. Remember, right off the Queensway, it's the old, it used to be a ski hill at one point a long time ago.
So Duluth Arena.
Duluth Arena's right there. We take the entire ball diamond fence out for winter time so that kids can go and just blast. And it's really.
Which have it's tubes now, it's tubing.
Yeah, so it's a tube system,
Nice little
sleeves,
format.
sleeves, right?
Those paths up there, those take you everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like the bike paths above.
Oh, yeah, but in that case, I went so far as to put lights on the side of the hill because it was just so busy. I wanted people to actually get out there right through 11 PM. I've been there, nearly having a heart attack.
So we have some residents from the area, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to go one by one and just ask, Wayne, what do you think of the plans?
I think plans are great, all three of them. I'm not sure about a tennis court. It's the only thing is because the mosquitoes out there are absolutely horrendous. And tennis courts get used mostly at nighttime during the week. So that might be a potential problem because I walk out there at nights because you got the creek behind it.
Yeah.
And that whole system going down towards Waters. It's really, really challenging if you want to stay out there at nighttime.
Yeah.
But other than that.
These tennis courts may not be lit, then it may not be possible to get.
At least not day one, anyway.
Okay, but other than that, I really like the way it's laid out, especially with a soccer field, because I know it's needed.
And maybe the Cumberland team might make it its own home field. There's an option asking are they interested in, particularly they may want to put a clubhouse in there that would be,
Their clubhouse is by Millennium.
Millennium.
or is it?
Something ground.
Yeah.
Are you talking the Cobras?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have their own clubhouse out
Oh,
there.
they do, okay.
I wouldn't recommend the clubhouse any further than where it is now.
No, I didn't realize it had the,
Mark?
For me, it's like Wayne says, the third plan is excellent. Keep it natural, keep it simple. Sometimes if we go out of our ways and set things up, like, we know people at night go around there, we don't want people to damage the area, but just going out there, me and Wayne, we live right out in the ravine, so we can just walk out and go in the field. It's awesome in the summertime, it's awesome in the wintertime, it's a really nice area, so.
Has anybody gone snowshoeing out there in the wintertime along that creek bed?
Country skiing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's absolutely, it's incredible. You think you're up north. It's absolutely beautiful. So, and that's what I like about the plan. I think you're maintaining the existing environment,
That's,
yet accommodating, future growth. So I think it's great. Your plan's really there. I like it.
Bob?
I go with 2.
Okay.
I find that the most natural one of them. There are a lot of,
Third one, right?
not that I have,
This
yep,
too.
This is
yeah.
two.
I can put them in order.
I have nothing,
Not that complicated.
I have nothing against having tennis courts and football fields, but I think there are a lot more soccer. Well, we have football too now. There's a lot of sport-oriented parks. There aren't that many. Just go for a walk in the park.
Picnic table.
Picnic.
Well, 3 gives you both.
And
the thing is,
two's
when you look
more.
at 3, you have concerns about the contaminated soil and burying it. Where are you going to bury it in the other 2 presentations? You're going to have to remove it.
Probably.
Well,
That adds to your.
Yes, it's a cost.
Well, less money to spend on options down the road.
Well, and I'm a crafty person. I am looking in sources or locations to maybe solve problems with soils
I'm
up
sure
here.
a lot of them went over the Ditch Road.
Well, no, actually, Francois Dupuis, if you go there in the parking lot and you look towards the houses on the one side, it's a big depression. That's our land.
Yeah.
Maybe I fill it. You
You
know,
build some berms
There-
along there.
no, kidding, fill it up several feet for about 13 acres and then put sports fields on top. It's,
Well, that happened in Millennium originally.
yeah. Except this is-
It's full of all, whatever.
Oh, trust me, we built that, yeah, it's full of stuff, all right. It's interesting, but anyway, so all I'm saying is that I have to keep many irons in the fire, and that's one of them that I'm trying to work on.
when you're concerned about contaminated soil, what is it you're concerned about?
Well, first and foremost, the one we always find is barium. The Ministry of Environment and Climate Change would say that barium is not naturally occurring, it's a man-made chemical, but throughout the entire Ottawa Valley, barium is above their table limits. And I don't know if a meteor exploded over here 1 million years ago and dropped something, but so whenever I talk to the ministry about barium, I say it's barium-laden soils that is not there by human activity. Can't even say it's naturally occurring, but it is throughout the whole Ottawa Valley, not just Ottawa itself, throughout the entire valley. It happens in clay primarily. Clay, water gets in, sits, and everything just gathers. And barium is a metal, not heavy metal, just metal. But it's at a point that exceeds the ministry's limits for city park lands. It doesn't exceed ministry limits for, say, roads or other things. It's only where there's a very sensitive land use, which is a city park. Kids playing on grass. It's the most sensitive you can imagine. So,
When you were talking about accessible, you actually said accessible in one area. What is your accessibility?
right here.
Yeah, that's in on one of them, but what about your other 2 options?
No matter what, oh, go.
Yeah, the whole park has to be accessible, no matter what.
Oh, okay.
I can flip you our standards, but the city's accessibility standards is a phone book now, and we're still learning some things that come through on us, but I can't build a park that is not accessible. Not everything must be accessible, but you have to demonstrate to the standards that you've made it sufficiently
Right. And
accessible.
it's just because you mentioned accessible in one, that you didn't know, so I was just
Yeah,
wondering.
and I think probably, in terms of the nature trail, one nature trail, I think one option.
This one
is
here.
A slightly more developed pathway.
Yeah, so
probably.
it could be a
That was
harder
the
surface
idea.
pathway, like the stone dust or something I was talking about. It doesn't have to be asphalt to be accessible, as long as I say I'm not plowing it in the winter. And I would never plow naturalized pathways in the winter, because then you take away snow shoeing and cross-country skiing and all those things.
So I think one of the takeaways is we don't need any more miniature soccer fields. So the option one, I would ex-nay that, and I think as soon as you talk to the soccer associations, you'll find out about that. We have a massive need for a full-size soccer field in Orleans. Kids are playing in stormwater management areas. Enough of that. Let's get them playing in safe locations. Okay, that's one takeaway. Second takeaway is when you guys come back, and you please come back with a full detailed financial analysis of the plan. So we're making sure that we're, if it's at least at a
It'll be
high
high
level.
level, yes.
Yeah, because there's supposed to be an extra 300,000